guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be showing you my top picks for my favourite concealers, both drugstore and high-end. And I'll list all the prices of each product down in the description box below so you can compare the prices to see which ones might be a bit more affordable and which ones are a little bit more higher end but are definitely still worth the price. So if you'd like to see my opinions on my favourite concealers, then please keep watching. I'm going to do a makeup tutorial on this makeup look. I used the Morphe 350 palette and I did this really beautiful orange coppery shade smoky eye and I just really love the way it turned out. I think this look would be perfect for summer, which is here in Australia at the moment, or any sort of time of the year. I think it would be really beautiful just for a really natural glowing makeup look. So keep an eye out for the makeup tutorial for this look. So first I'll be starting with drugstore concealers, and I definitely have to say some of my favourite and the best concealers I've used have definitely been from the drugstore, which I think is amazing because they're so affordable, and I just think a lot of drugstore brands have really stepped up their game and produced some really amazing concealers. So the first one I want to talk about are the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind concealers, and these are definitely my favourite drugstore concealers by far. I can't get over how amazing this product is. I do have it in two different colours. The first one here is in the colour Light Pale, and I love to use this one for brightening up under the eyes. I do find it gives about medium coverage, so I really like that it doesn't look too cakey or too heavy under the eyes. And I also use this to highlight on the rest of my face as well, so I absolutely love this particular one from Maybelline. This one has more of a yellow undertone, so it's really going to brighten and make the under eyes look more awake. I really love the formula of this one. It's really nice and easy to blend out, and it just doesn't look too heavy or too thick. I'm not quite sure if I like the applicator. This is the applicator on top. It's like a little sponge, so I think it could be a little bit, it's probably not the most hygienic way to apply a concealer because of the bacteria that can build up into it. So sometimes I'll apply it on the back of my hand and pick it up with my beauty blender or apply it with a brush. But I really do love the formula of the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind concealers. And this second one here is the Brightening Illuminator shade, and I really love using this for correcting dark circles under the eyes. It is more of a salmon pink tone colour. So this one really works well for correcting any sort of blue or purple tones under the eyes. I find this one really good. I do love using this before using another concealer on top just to add even more brightness to the eyes as well. Next are the LA Girl Pro Concealers, and these are amazing as well. These are found in America, so I did have to buy them on an online site, but these are about $2 or $3 each. So it's really good value for money, and these I just find apply so creamy on the skin. I really like to use these for more of a natural look because they are a little bit more of a lighter coverage, a bit more sheer, but I just think that these work amazing to cover up under the eyes and they don't look too heavy on the skin as well. I do have them in two shades. The first one here is called Creamy Beige, and this is more of the yellow undertone. I do find this matches really well when I have a tan on. It does pretty much match my skin tone really nicely, but it does also brighten a little bit under the eye area, so I really love using this shade for when I'm a little bit more on the tan side. And this one here is called Classic Ivory, and this is really good to brighten under the eyes. It's a little bit more of a warmer tone, so it's really good for correcting dark circles as well. And this one I'll use when I'm a little bit more paler in winter. I really love the applicator on these. It's really easy to apply. You just squeeze out the product, it comes through the top, and you just apply it straight onto the skin. I find this one a little bit more hygienic than the Maybelline ones, but I think this is really easy to use, and for only $2 or $3 you can't really go wrong with that. So the LA Girl Pro Conceal is definitely one of my favourite concealers. The next couple of concealers are fairly new purchases and I've just been really loving them lately. The first one is the Rimmel Wake Me Up Concealer. This is in the colour Light, and this one is amazing. I've been using this for very minimal makeup looks. If I'm just quickly going down to the shops, I need to run some errands and I don't really want to put much makeup on my face. This one is a really sheer coverage concealer and I find it just looks so natural and just blends into the skin really beautifully. This one is more of a lighter yellow tone, so once again it's going to brighten under your eyes. I just find this blends out really nicely. I like to use it with my beauty blender and it just really melts into the skin. So the Rimmel Wake Me Up Concealer is definitely more of a natural concealer, but I would recommend it for more of an everyday use, so I've been really loving this one. This one has a really nice sized doe foot applicator. I find it really quick and easy to apply onto the skin, to put it in the precise areas that you want, and then to blend it out. So I really love the formula and the applicator for the Rimmel Wake Me Up Concealer. Next is the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer. This one I have in the shade Medium. This one I just find to be really nice for when I have a tan. It pretty much matches my skin tone beautifully. So I love to use this all around the skin to correct any redness or any blemishes. And I find it just blends really nicely into the skin. It doesn't look too heavy. This one is more of a medium coverage, so it gives really nice coverage without looking too cakey as well. I definitely do use this under my eyes. It's more of my natural skin colour, so I find it more corrects under my eyes. And then if I want to brighten, I'll go in with a brighter concealer over the top. I've been really loving the formula of the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer. And this one has a doe foot applicator, so really easy to apply directly onto the skin and to blend it out. I have used this with a brush and a beauty blender, and it definitely does work really well using either one. So I've been really loving the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer. And the last product I have is by L'Oreal, and it's the LUMI MAGIQUE Highlight and Concealing Pen. This one I do tend to use over the top of another concealer to brighten up under the eyes. I just find it has a really nice yellow undertone to it, and it's more sheer, so it's not going to add too much product on top of a correcting concealer. That's what I especially love to use this one for. And I have this one in the shade Light. I really love the packaging of this. It's like a really beautiful soft rose gold colour. Just think it looks really chic and really beautiful. So with this one here, you wind up the product from the bottom and it comes out the top, and you can apply it straight onto the skin. So where I like to apply this one is underneath the eyes in more of a triangle shape, on top of the cheekbones, down the center of the face, on the forehead and on the chin. And I just find it gives a really nice natural highlighted look to my skin, and it's not too heavy at all. So I do like to blend it out with a beauty blender, and I just find it melts into the skin really beautifully. And on the days where I'm not wanting to use much makeup at all, I'll use this as my concealer, and it just gives the most natural, soft looking highlighted look, and it just looks really pretty. So I really love the L'Oreal LUMI MAGIQUE Highlighter and Concealer Pen. Now moving on to my top high-end picks for concealers. I do have two all-time favourite concealers that I will talk about. These two concealers have just taken over the makeup world in my opinion. They are just the most amazing concealers that I've tried, and I just pretty much can't get enough of them. I do like to try out different products and different concealers, but I definitely do find myself going back to these two all the time. So the first one is the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. I use this in the shade Custard. This is just the most amazing formula for a concealer. I just find it gives you a really good coverage, but it does not look heavy on the skin whatsoever. So this is more of a full coverage concealer, and I really like to use this for when I'm going to a special occasion, for a night out. I just find this covers under my eyes better than any other concealer I've used, and it's just amazing. Using the shade Custard, it's more of a yellow toned concealer, so it will brighten up under your eyes. And I just absolutely love the formula of this one, and I just find it is one of the best concealers that I've ever tried. So this one comes with a longer doe foot applicator as well. It's so quick and easy to apply under the eyes, and my favourite way to use this is to blend it out with a beauty blender, and I find the beauty blender absorbs a little bit of the product so it doesn't look too heavy on the skin, but the formula is just so rich and so creamy that I find it gives you the perfect amount of coverage without looking really creasy under the eyes or anything. I find this one does not crease whatsoever. So the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer is definitely one of my favourite concealers, and I would recommend everyone go out and try it. And my second ultimate concealer I think everyone needs to own as well is the Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer. This one is, oh my god, it's so amazing. The formula is just so incredibly creamy. This one I'd say is a little bit less coverage than the NARS concealer, but oh my god, it just looks so perfect when you apply it on the skin. I have the shade Medium Light Neutral, and I do find this one matches my skin tone quite well when I'm a little bit more tanned. So I really like to use this to cover up any redness or any blemishes on the skin, and I just find it looks absolutely perfect. I really want to get this in a lighter shade so I can use it to highlight as well, because I think that would look really beautiful. The formula of this, like the NARS one, it's very creamy, very blendable. And I don't find this one creases under my eyes at all either. So that's why those two are my favourite top pick concealers. This one has more of a skinnier shaped doe foot applicator. So I find you use the flat end and you can just really press the amount of concealer you want onto the skin, and I just find it blends out so beautifully. I do use a brush or a beauty blender with this one. I find they both work really well, and I just can't get enough of this formula by Urban Decay. I just think it's so amazing. If you haven't tried the Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer, do yourself a favour and go out and try it. The next concealer is the Pro Longwear Concealer by MAC. Oh my god, this one is so amazing as well. I worked at MAC for nearly 4 years, and this was definitely my favourite concealer that MAC does. it just covers up everything on your skin. The best way I like to use this is to use a really, really lightweight foundation, something like a Face and Body or a tinted moisturizer, and then you can go in with the Pro Longwear concealer and you can conceal everything on your skin. And that way you get a really more natural look to the skin and you don't have too much product. This concealer just, oh my god, it covers everything so amazingly and I just love it. The one thing I'll say I don't like about it is the packaging. It does come in this little glass bottle, and the amount of times I had customers come in and say they dropped it and it smashed. I luckily haven't done that myself, but I could see how it could happen really easily. So the only downfall to this would definitely be the packaging. So it comes with a little pump top. Now this does take a little bit to get used to using. I do find when I first use this product I would pump out way too much product. You have to use a really, really light hand, and one pump of this concealer will pretty much do your whole face. You don't need any more than that because it is so pigmented and so full coverage that that is all you would need. My favourite thing about this concealer is that it is pretty much waterproof. I've gone swimming on days where I've had makeup on. If I'm wearing the Pro Longwear concealer, it does not move on me whatsoever. So if you're looking for something to use when you're going to be in humidity, or if you're going to be swimming and you want to wear a little bit of makeup, using something like the Pro Longwear concealer will definitely stay on your skin. Being Pro Longwear, it is a 12-hour wear product, so this one I find lasts on my skin all the time. I especially love using this if I'm going to an event that's going to last from day to night, or if I'm going out at night and I want my face to stay flawless all night. This is the product I would use. So this is the MAC Pro Longwear concealer. I do have this in quite a few shades. My favourite shades would be the NC20 to really brighten up under the eyes, and NC30 matches my tan shade really nicely, and then also NW20 when I'm more pale. That is a really, really good colour for correcting under the eyes. It's a little bit more of a warmer tone, so those would be my favourite shades. This next concealer is a newer purchase for me and I really, really loved it when I tried it, and it is the Tarte MAGIQUE Creaseless Concealer. This one is full coverage. Like, you do not need to use any more than the tiniest little bit and it will cover your whole face. That's what I love about it. You get so much product for your money with this one that it will last you so, so long. I have the colour Light Sand in this one, and I find this is the perfect shade for concealing under my eyes, hiding any dark circles and highlighting the skin as well. So this one is, like I said, more fuller coverage, so you only need to use the tiniest amount. It's definitely more of a cream formula. It's not as liquidy as the other concealers I've mentioned, so if you're wanting a really full coverage, flawless makeup look, this would definitely be the concealer to try. I really like the packaging. All of Tarte's packaging is so beautiful. It's got this little bamboo wooden lid and the nice purple packaging. This one has the little squeeze tube at the top, which I think is really good because you can really control how much product you're using. And this one I just find you only need to use the tiniest amount. It will go a very long way on the skin. I do like to use this with a brush because I find it just works a little bit better with the cream formula as opposed to more liquid products. I find a beauty blender works a bit better with, so to keep the amount of coverage you're wanting, I would use a brush with this one. And this one says it is a full coverage, creaseless and waterproof concealer. So if you're looking for something waterproof, I would definitely try out this concealer if you're wanting something very full coverage as well. And I did find that this didn't crease on me at all, so saying it's creaseless, I would definitely agree with that. And the last product I have is the MAC Prep and Prime Highlighter Pen in the shade Light Boost. Similar to the L'Oreal LUMI Magique highlighter pen I talked about, I really like to use this one on top of a concealer just to add more brightness and illuminated look to the skin. This one is a really sheer formula once again, so I find it just blends into the skin really beautifully and looks really natural. So this one here, you wind up the pen down the bottom and the product comes out the top, and then you can just draw on where you're wanting the product to go. Same as the L'Oreal one, I like to apply under the eyes in a triangle shape, along the top of the cheekbones, down the center of the face, and I just find it gives that really light and brightened look to the skin, and it just looks really beautiful. On the days where I'm not wanting to wear much makeup at all and I just want a little bit of coverage on certain areas of my face, I will use this pen as my concealer, and it just gives a really, really beautiful, natural, concealed and highlighted look to the skin. So I really, really love these Prep and Prime highlight pens, and my favourite colour is Light Boost. They do also do a few other shades depending on your skin tone as well. So this one's more of a yellow tone, so it's really good for brightening up under the eyes and to make your eyes look more awake as well. So this is the MAC Prep and Prime highlight pen in the shade Light Boost. So those were all my top picks for my favourite concealers, both high-end and drugstore. I really hope you enjoyed this video and you saw some concealers that you might want to try out for yourselves, or ones that you've been looking at before, so you can get a bit of a comparison of which ones you might want to try out. So thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel down below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.